All right, good day and God bless students. Uh, in this video, we are going to discuss the content of Module 1 entitled Introduction to Computer Becoming Fluent with Computers. All right, so I hope my audio is clear and my screen is presented well, no, on your end. So let's start. So here are the questions that we're going to address, no, in this discussion. So first question we tend to ask in this topic is why do we need to study computer, no? Since social work in yung course and medyo layo ra sa medyo layo ra sa computer nga field, but why do we need to study? No? Why do we need or why do you need to still to study this? And second question is why computer literacy a vital success in today's world. So kana siya, no, being computer literate, no, and why is it important, no, sa karon nga day-to-day nga pamuyo nato. And also, is there any advantages or disadvantages of computer in the society? So naabay mga advantages, naabay mga disadvantages sa paggamit sa computer, especially sa ato ang society karon. And another question is what is computer technology? So this type of question, no, we are going to address in this video tutorial, but in this uh, in this video I'm going to make or I'm going to discuss will be only the topic, what is computer, and also the components of computer. So I'll just divide the topics that way. So let's start. All right. So after completing this chapter or this module, we have module 1 and module 2. So here are the objectives. Okay, first is you'll be able to explain why computer literacy is vital to success in today's world. And also define the term computer and describe the relationship between data and information. And number three is describe the five components of a computer. Those are the input devices, the output devices, system unit, storage devices, and communication devices. And hopefully, you are able to differentiate, no, the differences of these terms. Also, you'll be able to discuss the advantages and disadvantages that users experience when working with computers. And all right, so some of these objectives here will be discussed on the following videos that I'm going to make. So, number five, define the term network and identify benefits of sharing resources on a network. And number six, discuss the uses of the internet and the www or the World Wide Web. Also, you'll be able to distinguish between system software and application software. So we're just gonna run through with these terms because medyo broad ni siya nga mga topics. Number eight is to differentiate among types, sizes, and functions of computers in each of the categories. So na ay mga types of sizes or na ay types, na ay sizes, and functions sa computer. So we're also going to differentiate or discuss this one. And number nine, describe the role of each element, no, in an information system. Number 10, explain how home users, small office, office users, mobile users, power users, and enterprise users each interact with computers. So there are different types of users. So we will also discuss this one. And lastly, last but not the least, discuss how society uses computers in education, finance, government, healthcare, science, publishing, travel, and manufacturing. So these are the fields uh, that uses computers, no, that in the society that we're also going to discuss. So I'll just go ahead and uh, talk a little bit fast. Okay, I am actually trying to create a video in a short span of time. All right, so let's start. So here we know that computers are everywhere. No, makita na to bisag asa. So you may be a student or whatever. Sorry, whatever job or whatever. Uh, place uh, you are, nag-eskwela pa ba ka, nagtrabaho pa ba ka. Alright, so we know that it is everywhere, and people use all types and sizes, for variety of reasons, and also in range of places. Okay, so siguro atong hibawan nga computer is the one that sit on top of our desk, no, like, or like laptop, like desktop. But there are other types of computers also, which we are going to discuss later. But here are some, no, mobile computers and mobile devices, kana mga cellphone nga ginagamit nato karon, and all the technologies or all the devices nga ginagamit for communication and for sharing and computation. So once nag-involve siya ana, it is called computer. So under siya sa category sa computer. All right. So also matawag nato si computer as the primary means of local and global communication, no, for billions of people, no. Pwede ta maka-communicate, no, in locally, no, using internet, and also globally, no, around the world we can actually communicate kung asa ang tao nga atong i-communicate. And also there are other people like consumers, no, uh, in business industry, uh, employees and other employees, they communicate using computer, and even the customers and the client, right, and employees with other employees also, and customers and students with classmates and teachers, no, kana sila, and family members, na even mga military personnel, and so on. So in addition sa mga simple lang mga messages nga atong isend, no, uh, we can also use computer to share photos, to draw, to document, no, we can use computer to view calendars, to create journals, to listen to music and watch videos. So those are the functions, or those are the applications of computers. So through computer society, no, ang society ko, no, nasa instant nga access sa tanang information around the globe using the internet, no. And local and national news also, kaya na to na access bisan pag wala tay cable sa balay, but we have access of the internet even in our mobile phone. We can access weather reports, sports, we can watch sports, airline schedules, we can view, we can search for telephone directories, maps and directions, job listings, and countless forms of educational material, no, like mga PDF nga atong mga gamiton. So we can actually use computer. So from the computer you can make a telephone call, no, pwede ka matawag, you can meet new friends, like you can video call your friends and share opinions or life stories, book flights, right? And you can also shop in Lazada and in Shopee, and there are other online stores, no, and fill prescriptions, you can file taxes, take a course, no, pwede na ka eskwela online bisag dili na ka moadto sa eskwelahan, and receive alerts, and you can actually automate your home. And there are lots of applications pag daghan pa jud kaayo I haven't mentioned, but those are pinaka popular. So at home or even nakasadalan, people use computers to manage schedules and contacts and listen to voice mail messages. So you can also pay bills, no, if you have GCash, you can actually transfer funds and buy or sell stocks and so on. All right. So other things such as banks, they place ATM, no, or the automated teller machine, no, sa ato ang even sa atong cellphone, sa atong mobile phone. So we can use application already, no. So pwede na ta maka-deposit, maka-withdraw, maka-transfer of cash, no, using computer or using your mobile phone, as long as you have installed the application sa bangko. Okay? So all right. So here, now what you see in this photo, makita nato ang lahi-lahi nga application, no? Lahi-lahi nga uh, users, no, and devices that is used. Okay. And there are more, no? Even at the grocery store, you can actually use the computer to track purchases. I don't know if you're familiar with point of sale system, no? Gigamit sa mga restaurants to to manage transactions or to manage sales, and uh, calculates the amount of money due, and often generates coupons customized to buying patterns. So also there are vehicles no included. There are vehicles that has a navigation system, no, even sa mga cars like GPS or the global positioning system, no, and they are installed, they are embedded. Computer is embedded in uh, vehicles. So in workplaces, they use computers to create email messages, memos, and letters, manage calendars, no, payroll, inventories, and so on. School, sa eskwelahan po, teachers use computers to assist with classroom instructions. No, sa karon, example sa ako, I am using uh, computer, specifically Google Classroom and Quipper as an LMS, no, and I can use different websites for video recording, and I can use Google Meet, and also Zoom, no, for online classes. And students, they complete assignments and also conduct research on computers in laboratory rooms. You can do it on your home as well. So instead of attending class on campus like we traditionally do, some students take entire classes there directly from their computer. So sa computer na tanang ipamaagi. All right. So uh unsa pa man. So here is the term computer literacy, no? And as technology continues to advance, computers have become a part, no, sa atong everyday nga life, and many people believe that computer literacy is vital. No, this is very important to success in today's world, and most of the people believe that. Okay, even mga teachers, they need to have they need to be computer literate. No, dapat computer literate na ka, bisag pinaka-ubos ra imong trabaho, you need to know, or you need to have literacy, no, in computer. So it is defined, or it is also known as digital literacy, and involves having a current knowledge and understanding of computers and their users. So matawag ka computer literate when you have a current knowledge and understanding of how to use computers, and you know their function or their uses. No, because the requirements that determine computer literacy change as also technology changes. So kung ang requirements ko, no, nga mag-determine if you are a computer literate, it changes, no, at as also technology changes. Kaya mag-upgrade man din yung technology, you must also upgrade your knowledge in computer, and you must keep up with these changes per se. So there, no, next slide. All right, here we're going to define what is computer. So basically, no, if you're going to ask me, this is just an electronic device. That's all. No, we can define it that way. So there are kuan pa jud, there are other definitions. No, napa na siya sumpay. When you say electronic device, gali, this is a device that runs through electricity. That is why electronic siya, and operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory. So in short, na siya program. Ang nagpadagan aning technology is what we call as the program or the software that can accept data, mo dawat siya data like mga input nato, no? And ang input nato i-process niya, and then pag mag-process, i-process niya according to the rules or specified rules, and after ana it produces results, and that is your output, and it store the results for future use. So i-store niya sa imong computer. Okay, so nakita nato na siya'y kuan na siya mo accept siya input, i-process niya ang input, i-produce niya ang result, and then i-store niya ang imuhang information. So what is the difference between data and information, di ay? So we know that computers, they process data into information. So unsa gyud ni? So when you say data, data is a collection of unprocessed items which can include text, numbers, images, audios, and videos. Or in short, this is a raw information. No kanang mga text, no kanang input nato using keyboard or even a mouse, or even images through pictures, or videos with using video camera or using a recorder for audio. That is called data, and they are called raw information. And when we say raw, which means wala pa siya na process, so wala pa siya ni undergo og process. Excuse. So information conveys meaning and is useful to people. So this is a process data. So here's a very simple uh, analogy, or a simple we can say illustration, that we can compare, what is the difference between data and information. So sa taas na atay what we call as the data, which is uh, for example, ni palit ka sa grocery, no? So you bought or you buy two medium sodas, small small turkey, or ibutang nato sa restaurant ni kay pang kuan man ni siya, consumable man ni. So Caesar salad, bag of chips, three cookies. So those are data, and the amount received, the cash na imong gibayad. So here, tanang input ani niya, tanan nimong gipamalit, tagsa-tagsa na siya. Those are data. And the computer will process each item, by multiplying the quantity ordered by the item price. So kung pila ang quantity, no kaning naa diri, this is the quantity. So i-multiply na siya kung pila yung price, no? So, multiply na siya, i-multiply. So, that is the process that is happening. And it organizes the data. So, i-arrange na siya, i-table ba kaniya, or whatever format na the user wants, no? So, and then, i-multiply niya, and then i-sum niya ang total sa prices. So, that is still part of the process. And determine the order total. So, i-calculate din niya, no, na-calculate na niya, pilay total, and lastly, i-subtract niya ang imong gibayad, the amount received minus the total order. So, money na ito sa process. So, information, you now have the quantity na ana diri ang item, and the total. Also, the process. All right. So, the term process. The process uh, total, or the process of the calculated of these items, and the amount received, and the change bill is okay. So in short, mura siya resibo, no? Kani siya, this is the receipt that serves as the information, or the same, we can compare as the information. Process na siya. All right. Okay, so here are the components of a excuse. Here are the components of the computer. So, a computer, it contains many electric or electronic and mechanical components, and that is known as a hardware. No, kanang touchable, kanang visible diha tanan na makita nimo sa imong device, that is called hardware. And these components include input devices, output devices, system unit, storage devices, and communication devices. Okay, so let's start. What is input devices? So input device is any hardware component that allows you to enter data and instructions into a computer. So anything that receives the input, or anything or any hardware na that will allow you to enter data. So there are five widely used input devices. They are keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, and webcam. So those are examples of input devices. So everything you see here is called input devices. All right. So nasa yung keyboard, nasa yung microphone for audio. No? All right, for output devices, what do you mean by output devices? So output device is any hardware again, a hardware component that conveys information to one or more people. So when we say output device, so mo na siyang device nga na mo display sa information nga na process. Okay, so ang input mo na siya mo receive sa data and i-process sa computer and then output. That is where the output or the information is being displayed. So we have an example here. There are three uh, very common or more. So we have printer. Okay, here this is printer. This is for we can view all the informations that we have entered in the computer and then the process here. And we have speaker, which will display or which will uh, which will uh, which will output sounds. Yan. So we have printer, we have projector. So printer, no, so it prints, everything that you want to print, and this is the printer, and this is the projector that will display also. This is the tablet. This is the platter. So this is the printer sa mga tarpaulin or mga dagko nga mga mga dagko nga mga uh, dinagko or pinulto nga mga printing, no. All right, so that is the difference. Okay, so again, input device mo receive siya og data, and output device i-display niya ang information. Here, okay, so let's, all right. Okay, later na ni. So system unit, jump to the system unit, okay, is a case that contains the electronic components of the computer that are used to process the data. So kanang makita na to nga case diha nga tapad sa desktop na rectangular in shape or whatever shape it is, nga nasulod motherboard, dili na siya CPU. Okay? That is called system unit. And system unit, it contains electronic components of the computer nga maoy mo process sa data. So there are two main components of the motherboard. So what you are seeing here is a picture of a motherboard. This is located, or this is what the system unit contains. So two, we have the processor or the CPU. So kani siya kung giingon, so maura to siya, part ra siya sa system unit. So this is an electronic component that interprets and carries out the basic instruction that operates the computer. So sa kanang mga calculations, so iyahan ng trabaho, no? Uh, yeah. Unsa pa man? CPU that interprets and carries out the basic instruction to operate the computer. And memory consists of electronic components that store instructions waiting to be executed and data needed by this instruction. So siya ang mo store sa instruction. So kanang naa niya ang program, no. Naa niya ang instruction. Siya mo'y naghawid sa instruction nga para i-process ni CPU. Okay, ang calculations naa ni CPU, no, pero ang instruction naa ni memory. Although some forms of memory are permanent, most memory keeps data and instructions temporarily. So naatay duha ka klase nga memory na ay temporary, na ay pang long term, which means its contents are not erased, no, when the computer is shut off. Okay, so naatay duha, no, and okay, so hopefully we have an image here. Okay, tama lang siguro dire. Ito ang session, but I still want to add, no? Okay, medyo kulang na siya. Alright, so mao to siya ang inyong timan-an, no? Ang difference. So, I want to show you an image, no, that shows all the devices that I'm talking about. That includes the memory and the CPU. Okay, for a bit. Okay, there. So the ari sa ta, storage holds data, no? Kanang we have different example of storage devices, no? Siya may hold sa data for future information, for future use. So mo na gitawag nga naatay mga examples ana dire. Ang isa sa trabaho niya it mo record siya or mobasa sa mga items nga atong gi-save dito. So some of the examples are the flash drive or the USB or the universal serial bus flash drives. It holds over an average of 4 billion character, kanang mga 4 gig, 8 gig, karon na ni 32, na ni 64. Pataas, nagkataas na ang storage capacity sa USB. And the hard disks, mas taas-taas na siya og capacity mo, abot siya og 500 gigabytes and terabytes even. And kaning optical desk, this is a flat, round, portable metal desk with plastic coating. So wala na kay ni siya gigamit karon kay hard disk na kasagarang gigamit. And memory cards nga pwede na to i ibutang or i-insert na to sa tong cellphone and sa computer, vice versa. So here are the devices, no? Okay, so just to make it or just to summarize, no, output devices, or no, let's start with input devices. So here is the setup, no, computer setup. What you see here is uh complete setup sa computer that includes the hardware components that we just talked about. So here in your computer, we can identify no individually kung input ba siya output. So webcam, this is input devices because it receives, no, it receives videos. Speakers, output devices, mouse input, monitor, napud na siya, yeah, the monitor kani siyang square tanan, this is the monitor, no, and the screen, so mo ni siya ang screen ang kauban sa monitor. Keyboard for input device, optical disk drive kani siya kani sa storage, na dira ibutang ang mga CDs katong mga system unit sa una nga pwede pa butangan og mga CD or optical desk na DVD kana siya. So hard disk drive sa HDD naa ni siya sa sulod sa CPU, or what we call as the storage device. Or this is the system unit. So naa diri ang CPU, naa diri ang memory and the storage devices. Or microphone, input devices, USB storage devices, card reader, storage gyapon siya, memory cards, storage, and naatay external hard disk kani siya kanang dili siya built-in, no, pwede siya mabalhin-balhin. Modem for internet connection. We have scanner here. So naanatay printer ron nga naanapoy scanner, di ba? So naanay 3 in 1, naanay printer, naanay scanner. So yun na. All right, so those are the components, no? Just to make it short. So those are the components of the computer, and uh, there are lots of devices pag yun, no? And naputay mga communication device, no? This is also a hardware that enables the computer to send and receive data, and that is called communication devices. For example, telephone, uh, cell phones, satellites, and transmission media. So those are example of communication devices. Okay, so all right, so that's it for this uh, video lecture. So this is just the part one of the module one, and module two will follow soon. All right, that's all, and God bless.